Hello everyone. Welcome to the next session of tenses. This is a continuation video of part 1 where we have discussed about present tense and its varied usage. In this video, that is part 2 of tense, we are going to discuss the varied usage of past tense. Now, as we all know that tense is further subdivided into simple, perfect, continuous, and perfect continuous. In a similar way, I have also discussed past tense in its 4 subdivision. That is so we start past tense. The first usage to express simple past action. Okay, we are discussing now simple past tense. To express simple past action, habitual action, an action which has happened in the remote past, and a specific point period of time in the past, and also for the sake of politeness. Now let's consider each type. I'll be making some examples which will make your idea clear. Now the first, to express simple past action. The old man died last evening. So a simple action which has happened in the near past. Okay. He visited the temple every morning. Now this is habitual action. Why habitual? Because it is taking place every morning. It's a habit that he visited the temple. Next, something that has happened in the remote past. Fahin visited India during the reign of the Guptas. He won the Olympic medal in 1948. This is again remote past as well as a specific point. He studied in Oxford for 5 years. Now this is an example of past action which has happened over a period of time. Studied in Oxford for 5 years, over a period of time. Then finally, for the sake of politeness. Could you lend me your book for a day? Now this word could has that sense of politeness, which can be replaced with the imperative word please. Okay. Could you lend me your book for a day? Now there are even other usage of simple past tense, because simple past tense, we use it frequently in our English language when we speak, when we write it. And everyday spoken and written English is full of simple past tense. For example, to make questions. Did they complete their work? Did they go for the picnic? Okay. Then to write sentences, negative sentences like I did not join the picnic. I did not go for the movie. Okay. Then to denote something that has happened in the past but no longer happens now. For example, Seema used to play the piano very well. So nowadays she doesn't play, but in the past she used to play. Then to denote something that never happened in the past. She never used to scold her students. So both to denote an action that happened earlier and does not happen now, and also an action that never happened in the past. We use simple past tense. Now we go to past continuous tense. Let's consider its usage. To describe an action going on at a point or over a period of time in the past, and to describe an action in progress simultaneously when another action took place. So these are the two specific uses of past continuous tense. Let's consider the first type. That is to describe an action going on at a point or over a period of time in the past. For example, the students were playing in the ground during recess. So, over a period of time, during recess. At that point of time, this action of playing was going on. So, the students were playing in the ground during recess. The daffodils were fluttering and dancing in the breeze. This is also a point of in the past where the daffodils were fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Now, the second type, to describe an action in progress simultaneously when another action has taken another action took place in the past. Consider this sentence. The police arrested the burglar while he was running across the field. So two actions are taking place here. One is the burglar is arrested, and another is when during that time only the burglar was running across the field. So both the actions are happening simultaneously. The burglar was running across the field, and at that point of time, the police arrested. So one is expressed through simple past, as you see, arrested, and the second part, while he was running across the field, is expressed through past continuous. Okay? The children were still studying when the bell rang. So again, two actions taking place simultaneously. Ringing of the bell and the children studying. The bell rang, this is denoted with simple past, and the children were still studying. This is denoted with the help of past continuous. We now move over to past perfect. Let's see how it is used. To denote an action completed before a particular time in the past, and when two actions took place in the past and one was completed before the other. So again, this is used in two ways. Let us consider the first way. To denote an action completed before a particular time in the past. For example, they had completed the work by evening. So before the evening had come to an end, they had completed the work. The audience had left the auditorium after the function. So again, a particular time in the past, that is after the function, the audience had left. So we are using past perfect tense in both the cases. The second case where we are using past perfect tense to denote an action when two actions took place in the past and one was completed before the other. For example, the train had left before we reached the station. So you see both the actions that are denoted here have taken place in the past. One is our reaching the station and second is the train leaving. Now we have to see which action took place earlier between the two actions. So the train had left, this is earlier. This will be denoted by past perfect tense. Okay, so the train had left before, this is denoted by past perfect, and we reached the station, the action which took place later will be denoted by simple past. Okay. The examination had already started when we reached the hall. So reaching the hall, this happened later. Both are past actions, starting of the examination and reaching the hall, but reaching the hall happened later and starting of the examination happened early. So examination had already started. This is past perfect when we reached the hall. Next, we move over to past perfect continuous. Let's consider how it is used. To denote an action that started in the past and continued for a long time. For example, I had been sleeping for 3 hours when the telephone rang. So it is an action that has started in the past and it had been continued for a long time. So already it was 3 hours when I was sleeping. When I, that entire, you could say, time is denoted by this. I had been sleeping for 3 hours when the telephone rang. He told the doctor that he had been ill for 5 days. So again, a particular period of time, long time, 5 days. He had been ill for 5 days. So this expression, he had been, this is past perfect continuous. Mr. Biswas had been calling his nephew for a week before he arrived at Mumbai. So calling his nephew. Okay. Although in the second sentence, we don't see ing specifically, but it contains the sense of continuity. It has the sense of continuity. In the third sentence, Mr. Biswas had been calling his nephew for a week before he arrived at Mumbai. Here we get a true sense of the past perfect continuous, that is, over a period of time. Before coming to Mumbai, Mr. Biswas was calling his nephew. So I won't use here was calling, it will be had been calling his nephew for a week. Had it been only for one day, then we would have considered some other form of past tense. But since it is a period of a week, so he had been calling his nephew for a week before he arrived at home. So these are the varied usage of past tense that we discussed today. We will continue with this discussion in our next video, where we'll be discussing the future tense. Hope this video will be enriching for you. Please subscribe and like the video and share. Thank you for watching.